There is a quiet fear that lives in the mind of almost every person. It is not loud. It does not scream. Instead, it whispers. It whispers questions into the silence of your thoughts. What if things go wrong? What if I fail? What if something terrible happens tomorrow? And slowly, almost without noticing, those questions begin to shape the way you live. You hesitate. You overthink. You imagine every possible disaster before it has even had the chance to exist. This is anxiety. And at its core, anxiety is not really fear of danger. It is fear of uncertainty. The mind wants control. It wants guarantees. It wants to know what will happen, how things will unfold, and how it will be judged. But life does not offer these answers. Life offers uncertainty, always has, always will. And the paradox is this: the more desperately you try to control uncertainty, the more anxious you become. The Stoics understood this deeply. Nearly 2,000 years ago, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca wrote about the human mind with striking clarity. They observed that people suffer not because of reality, but because of the stories they tell themselves about reality. The mind imagines futures that have not happened. It invents outcomes, it rehearses disasters, and in doing so, it creates suffering in the present moment. Think about how many times you have worried about something that never actually happened. How many sleepless nights were spent anticipating a conversation, a mistake, or a judgment from someone else. And when the moment finally arrived, it was never as terrible as your mind predicted. This is the illusion of control. The anxious mind believes that by worrying enough, thinking enough, preparing enough, it can eliminate uncertainty. But this is impossible. Uncertainty is not a problem to be solved. It is a condition of existence. The Stoics proposed a simple but powerful idea. Divide the world into two categories: things you control and things you do not. You control your actions, you control your effort. You control the principles by which you choose to live. But you do not control outcomes. You do not control how other people think. You do not control how events unfold. You do not control the future. Most anxiety is born from confusing these two categories. We attempt to control the uncontrollable. We try to guarantee outcomes. We try to predict every possibility. And when the world refuses to obey our plans, we feel powerless. But the Stoic response is different. Instead of trying to eliminate uncertainty, they train themselves to accept it. Not passively, but calmly, deliberately. There is a deep psychological shift that happens when you stop demanding certainty from life. When you stop asking, will everything work out? And instead ask a different question. Can I handle whatever happens? That question changes everything. Because suddenly the focus moves away from the future and back onto the present. Instead of obsessing over outcomes, you strengthen yourself. Instead of trying to control the world, you train your mind. The Stoics believe the greatest form of security is not predicting the future. It is becoming the type of person who can face any future, calmly, rationally, without panic. Anxiety thrives on imagination. The mind paints vivid pictures of possible disasters, loss, embarrassment, failure, rejection. But those pictures are just that. Pictures, they are stories, and the mind treats them as if they are already real. The Stoics practice something known as negative visualization. They deliberately imagine loss, hardship, and uncertainty. But not to frighten themselves, to prepare themselves. When you consciously accept that things may not go your way, something surprising happens. Fear loses its grip. You stop clinging so tightly to specific outcomes. You become more flexible, more resilient, more calm, because if the worst happens, you have already made peace with the possibility. There is another hidden truth about anxiety. It is fueled by resistance. When we resist uncertainty, we amplify it. When we demand control, we feel powerless. But when we accept uncertainty as part of life, anxiety begins to dissolve. Acceptance does not mean you stop trying. It means you stop fighting reality. You still take action. You still pursue goals. You still work toward improvement. But you release the illusion that everything must go according to plan. You learn to move with life rather than against it. Think of a skilled sailor navigating the ocean. The sailor does not control the wind. He does not control the waves. He does not control the storms, but he controls the sails. He controls his skill. He controls how he responds. Life works the same way. You cannot control the wind, but you can learn to steer. And once you understand this, uncertainty no longer feels like a threat. It becomes part of the journey. Marcus Aurelius wrote something remarkable in his private journal. He reminded himself that every event, good or bad, is simply raw material. Material for patience, material for discipline, material for wisdom. When something uncertain happens, the Stoic does not panic. He asks a different question. What kind of person will I be in response to this? Will I be reactive, emotional, overwhelmed, or calm, steady, and deliberate? That choice always remains within your control, and that choice is where true power lies. Learning to accept uncertainty is not easy. The mind will resist it. It will try to drag you back into worry, back into prediction, back into control. But each time anxiety rises, you can remind yourself of a simple truth. The future has never been certain, not yesterday, not today, not tomorrow. And yet life continues. You continue, you adapt, you learn. You survive far more than you imagined you could. There is a quiet freedom that comes when you release the need to know everything in advance. You stop rehearsing disasters. You stop trying to control every outcome. You start living more fully in the present moment. Because the present moment is the only place where your power truly exists. You cannot act in the past. You cannot act in the future. But right now you can choose your mindset. You can choose your attitude. You can choose your response. And those choices shape everything. So the next time uncertainty enters your life, remember this. Uncertainty is not the enemy. It is the space where growth happens. It is the arena where character is forged. It is the environment where strength develops. You do not need to eliminate uncertainty. You only need to become strong enough to face it, calm enough to accept it, wise enough to navigate it, because the person who learns to accept uncertainty becomes incredibly difficult to disturb. They are not fragile. They are not dependent on perfect outcomes. They are steady, adaptable, resilient. And in a world obsessed with control, that kind of calm becomes rare and powerful. If you refine your mind to accept uncertainty, anxiety loses its grip. Fear loses its authority. And you begin to move through life with something far more valuable than certainty. You move with composure, with discipline, with clarity, and that is a strength few people ever develop.